Hello again, I'm Maxey. I have CRPS, which is a chronic pain disorder that causes you constant pain even when there's nothing wrong. It's basically your nervous system telling your brain that whatever injury you had maybe 10 years ago, maybe last week, maybe 20 years ago, happened yesterday, or better yet, today. In my instance, I dropped a 14-pound bowling ball on my left foot, which crushed my big toe and ball joint and required 5 surgeries. I was doing great until that 5th surgery when, for whatever reason, my nervous system decided I've had enough and sent it to my brain. So now my lovely brain thinks that that bowling ball hit that foot earlier this morning. Now, what I should have filmed was on Sunday evening after medieval times, which you'll see in all of my shorts. My husband and I left the birthday party, and on the way home, my pain suddenly went from my standard level, which is a 7, all the way to a 20 in about 5 minutes. As I was creating my new hairstyle out the car window on the expressway, and the poor person behind us was probably wondering where the bird that was crapping on their windshield came from, my husband and I decided that we should go home, take my normal meds, and wait a few minutes to see if they would kick in. We waited about 50 minutes and nothing got better, it only got worse, so off to the emergency room we went. I spent from 9 o'clock-ish at night till about 5 in the morning in the emergency room, having every possible scan that they could think of done to make sure that the only thing that was wrong with me was my CRPS. Now here's the downside. If you're a pain management person where you have a contract that you have with pain doctors that say you agree to only take the pain meds that they give you, only the way that they prescribe them to you, that you will never take outside pain meds, you will never borrow pain meds from anyone, and if you are in an accident and you need pain medication, you understand that you will have to wait for that pain medication to be prescribed to you in the emergency room, because the emergency room will have to check with your pain management doctor to make sure that you're not abusing the pain contract that you have. So in my case, we waited over an hour and a half while I was having vomitingly horrible pain before I was given any relief in the emergency room, because I have a pain contract. And the way that the world works is if you're a pain management person, you're an addict, which is the furthest thing from the truth. I have never in my life done drugs. I have never in my life abused my prescriptions, and I have certainly never borrowed and or sold my prescriptions to anyone. But the emergency room is so accustomed to people scamming the system that people like you and me, well, we just have to sit around and wait, I guess. So while we were waiting, they did my CT scan, my EKG, they did my blood tests, they did a scan from my neck to my pelvis to make sure that since my heart was looking good, it wasn't any of my other organs like my liver, my pancreas, or anything else. And in the end, she decided that the right side jaw pain, excruciating shoulder pain, shoulder blade pain, and chest pain was nothing to do with my heart or anything cardiac. It wasn't my pancreas or my liver. It was an opiate-induced, I believe she called it aesthesia, which how she described it was, when we take opiates, they are meant to target the part of the body that's injured, right? They focus on that part of the body, and they tell your brain, no pain, no pain, no pain. But after you've been taking them for a long time, which in my case has been 5 long years, those opiates are telling my brain that the healthy part of me, which would be my right side, my right shoulder, my jaw, my ears, my chest, my shoulder blades, it decides that those are hypersensitive now too. This is all part of chronic pain. I don't know if it's distinctive to CRPS or if it's to opioid use in general, but the way that the doctor was describing it to me was basically, not only has my body given up on the nerve endings being honest on the part of my body that was injured, but now it's also going to be dishonest to me on the parts of me that aren't injured. So basically my nervous system is a big old fat liar. In the end, I was given a lidocaine drip infusion for an hour that was also given with morphine, because the only medication that will help opioid pain is morphine. Basically what she was telling me was I wasn't experiencing any pain. There was nothing wrong with my body. There was nothing wrong with my shoulder. But the opiates that I'm taking made my brain believe that there was. So I was vomiting sick and in physical pain, but only because my opiates told my body that I was having that physical pain. There wasn't anything wrong. And the only way to stop that opiate-induced pain is through morphine, which is a dangerous drug to be given. I mean, morphine is what they give people who are on hospice. And typically, you know, any loved one knows that if you've been put on morphine, you have a limited time left in your hospice care. So I just want to, I don't know, tell those of you that are new to CRPS that the longer that you're with this disease, the harder and the worse that it gets. Now, I know in the beginning it's really terrible. I mean, I was explaining to my husband that the pain that I was feeling in my right shoulder was like month 1 of my CRPS, before I kind of mastered how to handle this pain that I'm constantly in, how to look like I'm maybe not in pain, how to do my hair and makeup so that people see me as my old self and not the person who's in PJs and laying around all day long. I was literally in that first month of CRPS, excruciating pain in my shoulder and shoulder blades, and then up through my neck and my jaw. It was the only way to describe it to him that he would understand what I was going through, because he's gone through it with me. So if you're new to CRPS, get on your insurance company, get on your doctors, get that diagnosis so that you can start the process of getting your stimulator. The faster that you get the stimulator, the less likely that you are to become opiate dependent, to get all these opiate side pains. Like right now, my neck is killing me. There's absolutely nothing wrong with my neck, and I know it, but yet it's killing me. The sooner you can get diagnosed with CRPS, or with the start of CRPS, the more likely you are to, one, possibly put it to sleep. You get about 90 days to get those nerves to calm down and to not have this disease be permanent. If it's after that 90 days, then the sooner you can get off the opiates, the less it's going to affect your body. The way that the ER doctor told me is that it takes 3 days for your body to become addicted to opiates. That's it. 3 days. And it can take years for your body to get off those opiates. So in my case, I've been on opiates for 5 years now. 5 very long years. And I'm getting to where my body has had enough. It's deciding that even the cold air on my healthy skin is painful. The ironic part was my husband and I were just talking about in the car prior to me getting sick, that I could be outside in 75-degree weather and it be a breezy day and it wouldn't bother me. But yet if I'm in a 75-degree air-conditioned room and I step under the vents, I feel like my skin has caught fire the minute that cold air hits me. So there's something in the difference between the fresh air 75 degrees and the air-conditioned induced 75 degrees. And the ER doctor said it's the difference between the humidity being there and the humidity being removed. So 75-degree air-conditioned air has the humidity pulled out of it, and it's literally just cold air hitting you. Where 75-degree outdoor air, for where I live, has the humidity in it. And that's why my skin registers it differently. At least that was her explanation. And for once, it was an ER doctor that I really believed. Her explanations were so on my level. They weren't these big words that I didn't understand, and they weren't condescending because they were all these little words that were too simple for my education level. They were respectful and educative, and yeah, I just really, she made sense. And when she said she was going to give me a lidocaine infusion, I thought, what is that? The stuff they numb your teeth with? And she said it was, and that it often will prolong the effects of the morphine. So instead of it lasting for 20 minutes to an hour, it would last for a whole day. And she was right, it did. It really did. I don't know if it was the lidocaine that was lasting for that whole day, or if it was the morphine that was infused in it that was lasting for the whole day. But yesterday, I was able to sleep on and off the whole day long and regain myself. I should have filmed it, because I said that I'm making this channel to show you the ups and downs of CRPS. But I don't know if it was just out of habit that I don't pick up my phone, or if I simply was too chicken to ask my husband to film it for me, because he thinks it's kind of silly to put all your bad energy out there. But in my mind, it's not bad energy. In my mind, I'm helping those of you who maybe are new to this disease or are really on the fence of what would it be like to be a stimulator. Because like I said, when I searched YouTube, all I saw was professors, doctors, bloggers, just all the specialists. There weren't people like you and I who just have the disease and have to live with it every day, that put a video up on the TV and said, here you go, here's my life, here's how much it sucks, and here's the parts that are good. Because when you have CRPS, in the beginning, it just feels like you're fighting this uphill battle, and then after a while you realize that you're just living with this battle. And the parts of you that had these really great days, 28 days of the month, and maybe you were angry too, or you had a bad day too, turns around to being you have crappy days 25 days of the month, and maybe you have 5 good ones. So my days typically go, now keep in mind, like I said, I'm 5 years in. My days typically go that I have between 1 and 4 hours of a decent part of the day. And then the rest of the day, I'm either exhausted, I'm sleeping, I'm in pain to the point that I'm in a soaking bathtub, or I'm just basically laying out on the couch, waiting for my next alarm to go off to take my meds. So sometimes those hours are all right together, and I film for you guys when I'm driving to the grocery store to get something, or I film, like now. And then sometimes it's an hour here, I sleep, it's an hour there. It's not all the same from day to day, but I do the best I can, because that's what I've been given, right? And like I've said in all my shorts, it's all about our attitudes. What we think up here is how our day is going to go. We're going to be in pain, don't get me wrong. Doesn't matter how much we smile, how much we cry through it. It doesn't matter, we're going to be in pain. But my pain is a level 7. It's kind of constantly a level 7. And I would guess that most of you would say she's not in pain when you're watching these videos. But that's because I've had it a long time. If you'd filmed me in the beginning, you wouldn't have seen somebody who you thought wasn't in pain. You would have seen somebody who you thought was being a big baby and needed to suck it up. But we're all different. Everybody handles it different. Somebody's level 7 might be that they're already getting sick from it, where my level 7 is, I can curl up for most of the day and be happy for a little bit of it. It just depends. So like I've said, if you're new to the disease, if you're old to the disease, I hope that you like and subscribe my channel. I've asked the doctors if we can film as much of the surgery as we possibly can. I know that there are other patients there, so I'm not sure how much that they will or won't allow, but we're working on it. If they don't let me film in the actual surgery room, at least know that we will film the before and the after and the days that follow. The surgery is on June 26th, and I believe that it's at 11 a.m., but I know that that's subject to change. And I'm in the Midwest, so that's Central Standard Time. We will do the best we can to get as much filming as we can. And I need more subscribers so that I can post it to all of you with CRPS as well. And then maybe some people who don't have it. But in the meantime, I just wanted to check in, tell you guys how life was going, and to hang in there. And just remember, CRPS isn't going to kill me. It's not going to kill Furball, and it certainly won't kill you. Like and subscribe, join my journey, and hopefully it will help you along the way.